After booting up the PlayStation 5, you might have been greeted by this. If you click on this, it'll actually reveal itself to be a video game. Sony has a knack for leaving good ideas untouched. When the PS5 was first introduced, there was a big focus on the DualSense haptic feedback that offered 5D gigafart immersion. The only problem is not a lot of games make use of this concept or any of Sony's ideas. You know that giant square button in the middle of the remote? That's not just a map button, that's an entire touchpad. But how many games actually make use of it though? It's just this one, guys. That's it. Astros is the game that finally makes use of Sony's zanier ideas. When you're reviewing a video game, you gotta start with the important stuff, like the funny monkey. Ooh, we gotta talk about the graphics, and I mean, wow, it really just looks like that guy punched a kangaroo that kidnapped his dog. Within the PlayStation 5 is an entire world of its own. Delicately placed platforms in a floating jungle, a refreshing desert that's frozen over. The artistic vision is simple, but that lends so much clarity to each level, leaving you with no excuses for missing any secrets. If you go to the right, you'll find Crash Bandicoot. You go to the left, you'll find Bloodborne guy. Astros maintains this focus on novelty. The collectibles are all Sony themed consoles and accessories. There's a whole gacha arcade game built for earning prizes like this too. Remember those DualSense haptics I was talking about? I can't stress enough how good this game's feedback is. You can feel the remote vibrations shift as you walk from stone to glass, like in your hands, feeling the difference. I've never played anything like it going into it or since. I've just genuinely never played anything like it. So this gacha game feels great. It feels like my hands are getting a hug from a precious baby panda. Here's the kicker. So far, I've only talked about what makes Astros Playroom unique. It is the most passionately PlayStation video game ever, and honestly, due to the unique use of the hardware, this is the only PS5 title I can't imagine on the PS4. That alone is enough for me to esteem this game highly, but it gets better. Beyond just being unique, what makes Astros Playroom fun? Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is interactivity. Right from the beginning in the level select, we see a lot done with a little. Pull levers to find hidden areas, knock stuff around, punch all the little dudes and they'll follow you. If you fly over this chip guy, he'll be scared of your laser, but if you try to punch him from below, you'll have a different reaction. This is unironically a perfect demonstration of what unique interactions in a game should be like. This is a game where you can do the thing with the thing. This is serious gameplay. This style of interaction ends up creating so many memorable moments that the small levels start to feel bigger, not because of scope, but because of just how much stuff there is to do. The hub area might just be a little square room, but there's a billion things to do in it. You could spend an hour or so just goofing off. Now, I don't mean to be the guy who says big games are bad and small games are good, but there's a secret weapon that smaller level design has. The levels end up being a lot more curated. So that's my goal with this retrospective, is to pull out all the interesting moments and details from Astro's Playroom that I can, just to show how nuanced and special this game is. You can play through the levels in any order. I know it's such a simple thing, but it broadens how the world is contextualized in the hardware. It's like a wacky road trip through the hardware at your own pace. For example, the first level is canonically the memory station in the PS5. Naturally, as the first level, it's got a lot to unpack, but it introduces that steadily with deliberate details. The flowers are made out of PlayStation symbols, the tight ropes are remote cables, and then you get the umbrella? You know it's gaming when the umbrella gameplay is good. But once a tornado eats you and takes you to Texas Roadhouse, you don't have it anymore. Before you know it, the game has introduced wind mechanics, secrets, and the basics of gameplay, all without a single word. Woo! Leaving you here. So Astros has a bunch of mini-game style areas. It's almost like half the levels, and that might bother you, but me personally, I'm bowling. Okay, playing as a ball doesn't sound fun, but you gotta remember, this game is about ideas, novelty, and interactions. Therefore, all your base are belong to bowling ball. It's so stupid, but it works so well and functions as a great way to break apart the game while still marinating in the gorgeous haptics and unorthodox design. And to be completely honest, I remembered this as the worst level, but looking back, it's tailored quite eloquently. Yeah, das ist sehr gut. The Cherry on top of Memory Meadows is this scene where the CRT TVs are making a mountain and they're all plugged into the original PlayStation. But conceptually, Memory Meadows brings a lot to the table, all without overwhelming the player. I think that while this isn't my favorite level, it's unique in that way. Have you ever wondered who's got fun in games? Huh? Welcome to the jungle, baby. This level is where we see Astros as like a nice round steak, lean and precise, but full of textured elements to sit and interact with. This sure is one beefy game. Off the bat, a giant robot is singing about the PlayStation's GPU as you venture through the mountains, dressed in clouds in this gorgeous jungle sunset. This game is free, by the way. The GPU jungle will not let you walk 5 feet without bumping into some kind of unique or memorable interaction. I love this section where you're throwing vials at targets, and then right after that, you're walking on a tightrope. Not only is this a great example of back-to-back unique interactions, but you can also mix these mechanics and take a vial on the tightrope to hit a secret coin case for no reason. They just coded that into the game for one chest. Climbing treetops, finding hidden temple-like areas, and the mini game for this level is the monkey. How is Xbox even in business even after the monkey even? Top that off with a bomb arrow power-up and a dragon boss fight, and that steak is well seared at this point. What leaves me impressed with this level is the music. This is where it became very apparent to me that the music is changing as you play the game. This level goes from like straight up Daft Punk to gruffer with heavier drums in the climbing area. The sound effects are also so clicky and satisfying. There's hidden ledges everywhere. The game just starts to have a broader understanding of its cartoony world, which is so weird. You wouldn't think that with such a zippy, fast-paced level, they would be able to accomplish an atmosphere, but they actually pulled it off. Sliding into the next level, the Cooling Springs. You're placed in an open and self-paced area. You can actually beeline this level and skip out on most of it, showing just how much the devs value your time. So often, games force you to waste your time before something fun happens, but not here. These little diving boards reveal a hidden coin and a trophy, and you can just walk past this unique moment. Other games don't just let you do the fun stuff first. They force you to follow a guy, or better yet, follow a guy slowly. It's just nice to see the developers go out of their way to let the players find their fun at their own pace. And the mini game for the level makes up for the lack of time. You hop into a seal costume and you're charging up these big jumps, and it doesn't really look fun, but man, it feels good on your hands. Each jump feels big and satisfying. It makes the level slow down, but in an artistic way that I can appreciate, because it's still pretty unobtrusive. It's a jumping mini game. It's not trying to make you poop your pants.
Yo! Are they playing volleyball? That just pooped my pants.
There's one more section in a giant ice dome. The music here is so cheery. You can ice skate. He does a little shiver animation. Even though this level is shorter and more self-paced, the transitions between each area are so on point. It's a short level, but I really... Wake the heck up, samurai. We're in Super Mario Galaxy 2. Space is always going to be a great setting, with or without Mario the Man or Mario the Myth. Techno music, gliding through Tron Legacy, flying into space in a rocket ship. Come on. The fourth stage is about freedom, right? Flying, space. My Second Amendment rights. It doesn't sound like it, but this stage is coherent and effective. The mini games are all at a peak, and the level design is like clockwork. I especially like this area with bouncy platforms and a machine gun that leads to an alien apocalypse area. I feel like looking back in this little section here and seeing the beginning and end point of this part of the stage makes this game look small and redundant. But at this last part here, I feel like Astro's entire design is laid out. It's simple, but it values your time. It delivers on the type of simplicity that you can crave from a game nowadays, while still letting you fly into space. Astro's Playroom wraps us up with a boss fight that I don't want to spoil. You gotta play the game. It's a really fun surprise at the end. I remember after I beat the whole journey, my buddy came over and we found out Astros had a dedicated breakdancing button the whole time, and I just never noticed it. It's got a dedicated breakdance button, but it's still only got an 89 on Metacritic. And after the funny monkey. This wasn't an exhaustive review, but I hope it was cohesive and enjoyable. I hope I could pull the good out of this game and display it to you for your leisure. And even though this feels like an end, we got a new Astros game coming out soon. A full-scale adventure with 5 times as many levels. This first demo that comes with the PlayStation 5 is only a taste. It is a short game, but it made me so excited when I got my PlayStation 5. Astros and Returnal were these new, fresh Sony games that made me so excited to see what's coming next. And somehow the new and fresh ended there, and we got more sequels and remakes. So as of right now, this is still my favorite PlayStation 5 game. So here's hoping that the new game opens up more doors for more new and more fresh. God bless you, I love you, and ciao.